Hi, everybody. I'm Rebecca Guanson from Keystone Crisis Intervention Team, and I'm here with the KCIT Volunteer Spotlight. This time we will be talking with Pat McLaughlin and highlighting the amazing work that our volunteers do behind the scenes. So I'd like to just hop right in. Pat, thank you so much for being here with me today. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and the work that you're doing now?
Sure. Actually, I started, gosh, when I was a teenager, so many years ago. I was an EMT and then an advanced EMT, and I'd always been very interested, very involved in doing crisis work and getting in there in an emergency. So that was my roots. And from there, I became an RN and worked as a psych nurse for years, and then shifted as a school psychologist and worked locally in the schools and high schools for many years, where I actually had opportunities to see kids in crisis quite often. Um, I've recently retired, and now I am working as a therapist locally in the community. Also, I've been connected with NOVA for quite a few years. I started as a volunteer hotline person and then got connected to Stewards of Children, the program that helps prevent teaches parents how to prevent child abuse, child sexual abuse specifically. And then I got to KCIT.
Pat, that's an amazing background. So how long have you been connected with KCIT and what brought you to KCIT?
It's been about, I think it's going on 4 years. And I was telling you earlier, a little funny story was that I had been at a wedding and we were chatting. I was chatting with someone who told me about this thing she participated in where she volunteered and when there was a crisis would respond. And I thought, that's really cool. I want to hear more about that. And we talked about it. And then it was a wedding, so I didn't stay connected. And I wondered what that program was. Um, and then I was at NOVA and doing the work at NOVA, and through some of the trainings, it came up, the KCIT training came up. And I was like, I bet you that's that program that she was telling me about. Totally interested, immediately thought, oh, that would be fantastic, and was able to get trained and have been doing volunteering ever since.
That's amazing. In your volunteer work with KCIT, as you think back, are there any moments that stand out in your mind that you would like to talk about?
Sure. There's a couple. The one that happened right before the pandemic when everything shut down, and that was a situation that was so raw, was that, I mean, it was something that had happened recently, and the families were so distressed that it felt like it was so important to be there for these families and support them, because there was so much pain and so much upset, and to be able to help walk them through some of that was so meaningful. And I was so grateful that we got to do that in person, because they really needed it. Because really, literally, shortly after that, everything went virtual. And the other one that comes to mind was an intervention where we came into a business, and I was so impressed with how much the staff supported one another. I mean, they were already just being there for each other. They were problem solving. They had already taken some actions to help one another feel safer. And it was really just a wonderful thing to be able to come in and give them more resources and extra support so that they could continue that work and help them to kind of reclaim a sense of safety in their workplace. So,
It's really profound to be a part of someone's journey in that way, in that capacity. Um, we get the questions all the time, or like to talk about the questions of, why KCIT? Why take a training? Why become trauma informed? What would your responses to those questions be?
good. Oh boy, the training was fabulous. It was really a wonderful skill building, building as a team kind of experience. Highly recommend it. Um, and I think I would recommend the training because it's so important. There are many, many more than we would even know of. Many experiences where people have trauma, something terrible has happened, and to be part of a team that's able to respond and provide support and help them through and process that trauma and help them kind of reclaim getting back to some kind of a normal life is just so valuable. And it is a trauma-informed approach. And in doing so, you're helping people regain a sense of control and empower them. And that's so important. Giving them those tools helps them really to begin the healing journey rather than take a path of maybe developing more significant difficulties. This is a tool that can get in there early on and help them along their journey, and to hopefully make them feel like they can manage this, they can heal from whatever it is they had experienced.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's a really a great way to put it. So in closing, is there a fun fact that you might like to share with us about yourself?
Sure. My fun fact is that I retired. I
Ooh,
just recently
yay!
retired. And I spent much of my summer gardening and taking walks, being out in nature. It was really great to be able to have more time to do that. And once COVID is finally done, I'm really looking forward to doing some traveling. So fun adventures to come.
That's awesome. Pat, I am really grateful for your time today, and it's lovely to get to know you better. Thank you so much
Oh,
for
my pleasure.
not just spending time with me today, but the healing and the care that you put into the world and that you continue to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.